Most impactful NBA moves of the season. Picture this: you're halfway through your lunch, scrolling through social media, and suddenly, bam! A WOJ bomb drops so big it makes your phone feel heavier. Luka Dončić traded to the Lakers for Anthony Davis. You blink. You scroll back up. You make sure it's not one of those parody accounts with the handle @sports but not really. Nope, it's real. That's not just a trade. That's a mid-season meteor strike, the kind of twist that would get rejected in a movie script for being too unrealistic. And yet, in February 2025, it happened, and the NBA's storyline hasn't been the same since. The Dončić-Davis shockwave. Let's start with the obvious. Luka Dončić was Dallas basketball royalty. The Mavericks were his castle, his court, and for years, every rebuild plan began and ended with him. Then came February's historic exchange. The first time in league history, two All-NBA stars were swapped mid-season. Dončić to Los Angeles, Davis to Dallas. From a purely basketball standpoint, the logic was there. The Lakers got a younger, offensive mastermind to build around post-LeBron. The Mavericks got one of the best defensive anchors in modern history, someone to pair with their offensive weapons. But from a storytelling angle, this was betrayal, redemption, and ambition rolled into one. Dallas fans were heartbroken, Lakers fans were euphoric, and neutral fans were just here for the chaos. The lesson for storytellers? If you want to grab attention, don't just bend expectations, snap them in half. Luka leaving Dallas was the storytelling equivalent of killing off the main character halfway through the season, and somehow making the show even better. The Bane heist in Orlando. Just when the shockwaves of the Dončić-Davis deal started to settle, the Orlando Magic decided to kick the table over entirely. In June 2025, they traded for Desmond Bane and paid a price that made even the boldest GMs raise an eyebrow. For unprotected first-round picks, plus players, Bane is one of the league's deadliest shooters, a two-way threat who can turn a game with a single hot quarter. For the Magic, this was a declaration of war on mediocrity. They weren't just trying to get better, they were trying to vault into contention right now. The humor here? Imagine explaining this to your grandma who's never watched basketball. So, they gave away for mystery boxes of potential players for one guy who's really good at throwing an orange ball into a hoop from far away. She'd probably say, "Sounds risky," and she'd be right. But great stories and great teams need risk. Without it, there's no drama, no payoff, no glory. Durant's Lone Star reboot. July brought another head-turner. Kevin Durant traded to the Houston Rockets in a massive 7-team deal. 7 teams. That's not a trade. That's a full-on NBA wedding reception seating chart. Durant's career has been defined by both brilliance and reinvention. From OKC's young gun to Golden State's championship mercenary, to Brooklyn's dream experiment, to Phoenix's veteran sniper. Now, in Houston, he's rewriting his ending once more. In narrative terms, Durant is the classic legacy character, walking into a brand new spin-off series. He brings credibility, experience, and instant relevance to a Rockets team bursting with young talent. Will it end with a championship parade or a what-could-have-been documentary? That's the cliffhanger we're all waiting for. Porziņģis and the art of the perfect fit. Not all impactful moves are explosions. Some are like a puzzle piece clicking into place so satisfyingly, you wonder how the picture ever looked complete without it. Enter Kristaps Porziņģis to the Atlanta Hawks. At 7 feet 2 inches. Porziņģis is both a mismatch nightmare and a walking plot twist. Too big to guard on the perimeter, too skilled to just park under the rim. Atlanta brought him in to add versatility, floor spacing, rim protection, and a reliable post presence. For Hawks fans, it's a hope-infused subplot. The idea that this quirky, injury-shadowed big man could be the one to elevate their team from good to great. For storytellers, it's a reminder that sometimes your unconventional character is the one the audience falls in love with most. The Fox Who Stayed. In August 2025, amid all the departures and fresh starts, one story was about staying put. De'Aaron Fox, the lightning-fast guard and rising leader of the San Antonio Spurs, inked a 4-year, $229 million extension. This move wasn't flashy, but it was foundational. Fox's decision was a commitment to the Spurs' young core: Victor Wembanyama, Matisse Buzelis, and Stefan Castle, and a public vote of confidence in the franchise's vision. It was the narrative equivalent of a story's emotional anchor. The scene where the hero plants their feet and says, "This is where I'm making my stand." And let's be honest. In a league where loyalty is as rare as a missed Giannis dunk, that's powerful. Why these moves hit harder than others? So why did these 5 moves, Dončić to the Lakers, Davis to the Mavericks, Bane to Orlando, Durant to Houston, Porziņģis to Atlanta, and Fox's Spurs extension resonate more than the dozens of other trades and signings? Because they combined high stakes with high emotion. They had shock value, legacy implications, clear winners and losers, at least in the short term, and built-in drama that will unfold over the next several seasons. From a motivational angle, each one teaches us something about boldness. Luka's move shows us the power of reinvention. Bane's trade reminds us that chasing greatness means risking the future. Durant's Houston chapter proves it's never too late to start a new story. Porziņģis's fit in Atlanta illustrates that embracing your uniqueness can be your superpower. And Fox's extension tells us that sometimes, the bravest move is staying the course. Humor keeps the story alive. And let's not forget the NBA is funny. It's unpredictable in ways that make you both laugh and yell at your TV. Luka in Lakers gold still looks like someone deep-faked a video game cutscene. Durant's trade required so many teams it felt like they were trying to break a Guinness World Record. Porziņģis is still a 7 feet 2 inches guy nicknamed the Unicorn, a moniker that's either intimidating or adorable, depending on your perspective. Humor in storytelling works the same way it works in sports. It disarms your audience, keeps them invested, and makes the dramatic moments hit even harder. The emotional arc of the 2024 to 2025 season. Think of this season's biggest moves like the beats of a great novel. The Dončić-Davis trade was the inciting incident, the shocking event that sets the plot in motion. The Bane trade was the rising tension, a daring move that raised the stakes. Durant's Rockets arrival was the midpoint twist, introducing a whole new layer of intrigue. Porziņģis to Atlanta was the turning point, offering hope for transformation. Fox's extension was the resolution, grounding the chaos in loyalty and vision. Every good story needs those beats. Every audience craves that rhythm, and this season delivered it in spades. What this means for storytellers. If you're looking to apply these lessons outside basketball, here's the play. Open strong, defy expectations, raise the stakes, embrace quirks, and land with a satisfying resolution. Keep your audience guessing, but give them enough emotional payoffs to stay invested. Whether you're building a marketing campaign, writing a novel, or producing YouTube content, think like an NBA GM during trade season. Ask yourself, does this move, this decision, this plot point change the game? Will people care enough to talk about it tomorrow? Will it stick in their minds like the first time they saw Luka in purple and gold? The NBA is a masterclass in live storytelling. Every season, it gives us plot twists, heroes, villains, and redemption arcs. But here's the real secret. You don't have to wait for a trade deadline to shake up your own story. You can make your Dončić to the Lakers move today in your career, your craft, your relationships. You can be bold enough to trade safety for opportunity, to swap comfort for growth. Because the greatest moves in basketball or in life are the ones that make people stop what they're doing, look up, and say, wait, they did what? And there you have it, the biggest plot twists of the NBA season. Proof that the league scriptwriters never sleep. If this breakdown made you yell, laugh, or question reality, then do me a favor. Smash that like button like Luka smashing a step-back 3, and hit subscribe so you don't miss the next chapter in this wild basketball saga.